Alright, much Abrew time. Playing some horrible in Modern. Blue-White Monument. Oh man, we just can't get a reasonable hand with this deck, no matter what we do. So I think we got a mulligan, and this hand is equally horrible. Alright, so maybe this deck is just horrible. Yikes. We have not had, like, one even somewhat functional Magic hand. Opponent, tapping, untapping, plays a Goblin Guide. Gets in with Goblin Guide. We do not get a land. We get a card that we cannot cast. So, opponent goes in the tank. Thinking. Alright, play a Plains, pass the turn. Mountain for our opponent. Oh, this is Goblins. Alright, well, we're still not gonna win. Opponent plays a Mogmor Marshal. Oh, man. This deck likes bad hands. I think the mana base might have some issues. Opponent gets in with Goblin Guide. Oh, deck. Why are we playing a million Plains? Yep. Opponent goes into the tank on our upkeep. They like the upkeep tank. Well, one thing I've learned so far is there's absolutely no reason to be playing 8 Plains. There's no interaction with Plains. There's no... Dust to Dawn is not good here. Pass the turn. So I think that's takeaway number 1. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 dual lands. There's no real reason that we need 8 basic Plains in this deck. That has been a theme of some of our matches, is drawing blue cards and not being able to cast them. Mog Fanatic for our opponent, and Bushwhacker? Probably. Maybe. Another theme has been not having a good plan. Yep, there's Bushwhacker. Not having a good plan for aggro. We have 2 pass. I mean, I guess we're trying to block. And maybe we just haven't had the hands that can block, but even our cheap stuff, like this White Mane Lion, can't actually block. So if we cast it, it just bounces itself back to our hand. And I mean, I think this is just game over. There's nothing we can draw here. We're just dead without casting a spell. Yep. Alright. Well, deck. Oh boy. All these Plains, they're taunting us. So what do we don't have anything? Like, Dust to Dawn is not... We can't keep Dust to Dawn in this match. To the point where we might just have to bring in Thalia, even though it's not good, just because it has First Strike and can block things. I don't think our opponent even has spells. It's actually probably likely that we have more non-creature spells than our opponent. But we still probably have to bring in Thalia. Gideon, too slow. Ruined Halo, not doing anything. Stony Silence, rest in peace. I guess the other option would be the Celestial Purge, which doesn't seem especially playable. Let's run it back. Alright, deck. Let's just have a reasonable magic. Alright, well, we're gonna keep this. We have a Serum Visions, which in theory will find us a second land. I have very little faith in this deck giving us a second land. I'm expecting draw like Sky Hussar and see 2 non-lands. Alright. Well, we're gonna put Serum Visions to the bottom. We'll keep Wall of Omens on top, because it draws us a card. So, maybe, I mean, this sort of seems semi-functional. What do you got, opponent? Opponent plays a mountain. Here comes the Goblins, I'm sure. Foundry Street Denizen. Yep. So, I mean, our best bet is to try to get up blockers and block our opponent's stuff. So, play a Plains, play a Wall of Omens, and draw a Reflector Mage. We do still need to draw lands for this to work out. There's a mountain for our opponent. Legion Loyalist for our opponent. Okay. And that's actually pretty bad for our blocking ability. Mog Fanatic. Pumps up Foundry Street Denizen. Sure. And goes attacking. Well, I guess we take 3 and block this thing. Oh man. Drawing a land here would be pretty spectacular. We would not complain about that too much. So we're down to 17. Opponent passes. Land? Alright, there's a land. This means we have options. I think we're going to pass. I think that's our best option. Passing leaves up Spell Queller. Also leaves up just White Mane. Pick up our Wall of Omens if nothing else happens. Goblin Chieftain. Alright, well, Spell Queller time. So, exile the Chieftain. And maybe this is kind of working out. Our opponent can't really attack. Opponent passes. Ooh, man. Oh, this is so risky. So what we want to do is play a Ketra's Monument. The problem is, if they just bolt our Spell Queller, get back their Lord, we take an incredible amount of damage, and our tokens can't even block thanks to this Legion Loyalist. So I think we play Judge's Familiar. And pass the turn. Leave up our White Mane Lion. There's a Lightning Bolt. Well, let's White Mane Lion. Pick up the Spell Queller. Opponent still gets back their Goblin Lord, unfortunately. Yeah. I mean, technically we fizzle the Bolt. So maybe. I mean, we kind of have a couple blockers. They're not very good blockers. Actually, we don't really even have any blockers because of this Legion Loyalist. I guess we can block with Wall of Omens, technically, but we're taking a nigh infinite amount of damage. Kills our Spell Queller. Okay. We don't really have a way to... We have 2 paths, I guess, but we don't have many ways to deal with this Legion Loyalist, which is probably going to be a super big issue. Like, what do we do about that? Against some aggro decks, we would just try to make a bunch of tokens to block, but that plan doesn't really work against Legion Loyalist. So I guess we have to, Reflector Mage just to get a turn off of Legion Loyalist. Although it comes down with haste the next turn, so it's not even that helpful. It's literally 1 turn. We get a break. And hope that we find one of our 2 paths. I mean, I guess we can try to bounce it. Wall of Omens. Our opponent knows we have a Spell Queller. We haven't drawn lands for a Ketra's Monument. Well, I guess we just pass. Leave up our Spell Queller. Worst case, we just try to Spell Queller block a Legion Loyalist. If we can get Legion Loyalist off the table, and our opponent doesn't draw another one, eventually we'll draw land 3... and be able to go on the token value plan. Opponent has Mog or Marshall. Well, I mean, I guess we Spell Queller that. If our opponent has another Bolt, that's pretty bad. I'm guessing they have, Goblin Grenades in hand. So, try to exile Mog or Marshall. Yep. And there's a Bolt. And, yeah, I think that's game. We just can't beat Legion Loyalist. We don't really have, removal. Yep. I don't know if we're literally dead this turn, but we're very close to the point where I think we are just going to have to start chump blocking. And then the problem is we don't have Wraths or anything. So there's no way of getting out from under this. All the goblins get trample and first strike. So we block here 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Alright, well we take 10, but it's just... There's no anything that matters here. Even a path doesn't do it now. Now we draw land 4, and we scoop it up.
Thanks for watching the video. If you haven't already, take a minute and click that subscribe button. It's a great way to support the channel for free, and you'll find the next video in the playlist right here.